What do YouTube? This your boy Sherry Speech. Right now I want to talk to you guys about Teen Wolf Season 6B, Episode 17, Werewolves in London. And wow, there's a lot of stuff I'm going to cover today. A few questions I gotta ask. Number one, when in the hell did Ethan and Jackson become an item? That's number one. Number two, okay, I'm wondering why the hell did Lydia go through the Chronicles of Narnia during the episode? And number three, is Scott's mother going to be killed? She better not be, because we need Mama McCall, okay? She cannot be on that damn bed. But you know what? I'm glad to know that the doctor said that she's okay. I am, because we need Mama McCall. And fourthly, where the hell is Mr. McCall as well? Because even Scott asked the sheriff what happened to his father. He said his father was transferred to another hospital. I wonder why that is. Maybe they're overstocked. I don't know. But those are my four questions. No, here's number 5. Who do you think Aaron's other half is? Because a lot of people are speculating maybe it could be Nolan, Gabe, or someone else. But I'll get back to that in a little bit. Another thing I want to talk about really is, well, first of all, yet another person was killed by the hunters. And I gotta say, there are some savages, bro. They really are. Killed by a kid by the name of Matt something. And it's just crazy, you know. We saw Sheriff Zelinsky interrogate Monroe a little bit, and then she kind of got back on him saying, listen, Miss Sheriff, you are an ineffective sheriff that pretty much will protect those kids at all costs, regardless of what you stood for and took an oath for, which is to protect and serve the community and not, specify your services just to like a pack full of little high school kids. You know what I mean? And she was right in that aspect. But then she tried to do him really dirty, which I think was a little bit of a B move. How are you gonna have the entire sheriff station, like what pool do you have to have an entire sheriff station, all his deputies turn against him like that? I mean, that was crazy, man. If you know what I'm talking about, I'm referring to the scene where Monroe said, okay, now, deputy, please remove the sheriff of his weapon. And Sheriff Stinsky was like, deputy, think long and hard about and consider what you're about to do. And let's be honest here. If you try to remove him, you're going to have to deal with more than just justice here. And Sheriff just walked out like a boss. Let's be honest. Sheriff Zelinsky, I don't think he's afraid of a damn thing. I think he's right up there with Argent, from the looks of it, Gerard, and Peter. Although I could be mistaken on those first two. Speaking of Peter, I'm really glad to see him back as well. I was really waiting on, okay, when are we going to see Mr. Peter McHale? Peter Hale, once again. And we actually meet him. I think they met him, I think, from the looks of it, at a section of Eichen House or down in the sewers. One of the two. I couldn't really place the setting. So they agreed to meet up with him. And Peter was like, okay, well, why am I here? And Malia was just like, well, I'm here for moral support. He said, for me or him? She's like, you have to have morals to have moral support. And it turns out, and then Scott was like, listen, you helped us. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have defeated the Ghost Riders. And Peter's like, self-preservation, things of that nature. He said, listen, don't try to stroke my ego. Just let me know why you want me to be a part of it. Because they're going to need everyone they got. Back to the beginning of the episode when the hunters tried to kill Ethan and Jackson. Well, they attacked Ethan and Jackson because, Ethan was blowing them up about their anniversary. Jackson actually told Ethan, like, listen, I tracked these 2 Omegas down, but the hunters got to him already. And we later on see this pack called the Primal, I believe. They all were slaughtered by the hunters, as Lydia pointed out to them, because she was being led to those pile of bodies. And she went on to say that the bond between the Hellhound and the Banshee is deeper than she thought. And she's right. It has gotten deeper and deeper as the seasons have went on, I've noticed. Another thing is, Peter, we found out that Peter pretty much, as Malia pretty much gave him an insight of what she's up against, Kusine, I believe. I apologize if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. She said, you can't defeat that damn thing. So it wasn't until after Peter got pulled up on by the hunters and blew up all his cars that Peter realized that Malia, his daughter, is in love with Scott, and that he'll do anything to protect his daughter. If you recall, last season against the Wild Hunt, the first part of season 6A, Peter did that just fine. Then also we find out that Aaron's actually the Kuskine, and they're now trying to find the other part, because in the promo for the next episode, double feature episode, they hear a voicemail. And so Aaron's looking for his other part, which is why all these dead bodies keep turning up. And Liam and Theo almost whooped Gabe's ass, but they didn't for some odd reason. So I look forward to next week's episode. This is your boy Jay Speaks.